and I certainly hope that you are ready as well. Hello and a very warm welcome. This is another edition of the Coaching Hour. It started out as a podcast. It's now, well, video, because we're here on Zoom, as you can see, if you're watching this on Facebook. Hello and welcome. Thank you for being here. The Coaching Hour podcast, proudly brought to you in partnership with Coaches Network South Africa. I'm Paul Rotherham. I'm joined by our two lovely ladies who make up the Coaches Network team in the form of Marika and Mary. Good morning, ladies.
Morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Hello.
Hello. Greetings.
Nice to have you here, ladies. I trust you have done your homework, which we are going to find out about in just a moment, because we have, for the second week in a row, we have Shaun who is joining us as we've embarked on what I think is a wonderful journey. If you missed last week's episode, do yourself a favor and make sure that you watch it or listen to it. Very important, because we are continuing in this series in our second season of the Coaching Hour podcast. We all had to do some homework for the first episode last week. And this week, I say we had to do homework, but actually our partners had to do homework. It's all to do with having a personality assessment, which sounds rather fancy and very complicated, but actually it's so simple. As you're here today, Shaun is going to take us through where we're going and what we're doing, but I'm going to hand the baton over once again to Marika, just for an official introduction in case perhaps you missed our first episode of the second season last week. Marika.
Thank you, Paul. And today we welcome for the second time Shaun Kritzinger. He is the founder of Thrive a Mind Coaching, and he presents a personal mastery online course, and he is sharing snippets of that course with us, and today is the second session. So if you missed the first session, I will post the link of that in the description, so please follow that to also understand yourself better and do the assessment. And today we are talking about relationship, and we are going to talk about mastering your relationships. Welcome, Shaun. We are excited to have the session with you today again.
Thank you so much, Marika. It is always nice to present something like this, especially knowing how much how much relationships it has helped in the past, and how many relationships it has saved before people just have a divorce, or before things just get worse. So it's very nice sharing things like this. So we are busy with the self-mastery course, and this is only the very last week, and this week is only one section of that whole course. It's got 11 sections. So it's really just a small snippet of the whole entire self-mastery course. Sometimes we say this is things that you really need to know to succeed in different areas of your life, knowing more about yourself, knowing more about your personality, your communication style, your mind, your thoughts, your emotions, how all of this works. And it just makes it a lot easier to navigate life and to build relationships with people, especially if it doesn't come naturally. Like for me, it does not come naturally at all, especially with my personality. It took a long time, and a lot of time wasted and money wasted on things that really didn't work. And the aim of something like this is to put information together that would really help a person to build relationships, to maintain those relationships, and to have meaningful relationships as well. So last week we just did a quick overview on the personal styles, and we went through your weaknesses, your strengths, basic motivation, basic things on your personal preference or your personal personality style. And now we're going to take it a little step further and apply it to our relationships. So first we know about ourselves, then we take it over to and apply it to other people. So each of you had to give the test to your partners so that we can talk a little bit about it and see how you can apply some of the knowledge and sort certain things out to make it a little bit easier. So who wants to go first?
Okay, I'll quickly jump in, because luckily, for myself and Paul, we are on a very similar situation. So I'm sure Paul has the same challenges in his relationship that I have.
Yeah, okay.
because I'm a very dominating person, being the D personality. And
Okay.
then, my husband is a C, which is all about structure and things being in its place and right, and if you look at my desk, I'm not 100% that way. So my mind works very different. So yes, I'm
Yeah.
a D living with a C.
Okay. All right. I
Yeah,
think
likewise. Does that mean it's a CD relationship?
Hi, Paul.
luckily it's not a floppy.
Yeah.
CD as in SEEDY, but never mind.
Okay.
It's all good. It was wasted. I'll sit here and be quiet. It's fine.
I'm a bit
So
slow
our
on
different
that.
personalities heard that joke completely different.
It's
Good
quite interesting.
illustration.
That's the perfect illustration, yeah, of how different everyone is.
Yeah.
And Mary's just been sitting in the corner as if I didn't even speak. Mary, if you'd
Mary,
like to be heard, you have to unmute yourself.
Your mind is sharper than you know.
Ah, yours isn't, unfortunately. I can say that Mary's my mother-in-law.
Well, can I say that's your opinion and that's fine, but mine's different.
Okay, back to you, Shaun.
so we'll deal with the CD first, with D personalities, and both of your partners are C personalities. So firstly, very important about personal growth, and I can't stress this enough. Personal growth, when you make a change, when you grow, when you decide to make a change in your life, it absolutely has to be for yourself. If you do it for anyone else, it's going to cause fighting, it's going to cause resentment, because when things go a little bit wrong or when there's arguments, one of the major things that people tend to do in relationship is say, I made this change for you. Why are you treating me this way? Or I did this for you. Why can't you leave this for me? So when you make any change in your life, make it for yourself. Make it because it is the type of person that you are. Make it the type of person that wants to win with people, regardless of who's in your life, regardless of any other information. It is a personal decision. That's why it's called personal growth, not family growth, not relationship growth. It is personal growth for a reason, because it needs to be who you are. And unfortunately, the whole fake it till you make it culture has slipped in too many relationships. Because when you fake it till you make it, that's the first thing that you stop doing when there's a fight. You stop faking. And you start being straight and honest. And then the true colors come out. So make it who you are. Make a decision, a conscious decision. I'm going to change. I'm going to apply this to my life. This is the type of person that I would like to be. And that will then always be the same in your life, irrespective of what is happening. Irrespective of hard time or easy times. It is always who you are. Like, we are human beings. I can't stop being a human being. I don't turn, I might show some animal behavior, but I'm still a human being. Okay. Even if I get angry or whatever happens in my life, I can lose everything. I'm still a human being. I can gain anything. I'm still a human. I can't not be a human. So it's who I am. So if you make personal growth who you are, you can't not be that way. And that's the big difference between becoming a certain person or fake it till you make it. So fake it till you make it, leave it. Make it who you are if you would like to make a change. Right, so being a D, let's go to the DC communication style in applying your personal style in your relationship. So Paul and Marika is a D personality. So how do you communicate with a D personality? Be direct. Do not come with stories. Start with the results first and tell them the benefit of the change or why you want to change, and give detail if necessary. If it's not necessary, then give them detail. They're not interested in it. So if you want to approach them with anything, a D personality, if you want to approach them, be direct, quick, come to the point. If you take too long, they get impatient. So now if you're a D personality and you have a C, what can you do to connect better? Well, come with facts, come with a list with your C personality, basically, in the first place, in the second place, in the third place. So be thorough with a C personality. Provide clear facts. So if you want something done, you can't be general. You can't just talk in general. Like I said last time, don't tell a C personality to buy cold drink or to get us food. It doesn't work. They don't know what to do. It's sort of, no, you can see something is wrong. You need to be very clear and very specific on what you want to drink, what the size is, what you want to eat exactly. Be very clear when you communicate with a C personality. Present your ideas objectively. In other words, in a list. Very clear, defined. You can come with a little list. They like the list. They'll smile before you even start. You've won them over if you start, okay, listen, I've got a list here. Let's just go point in the first place. They like it. So you already won half of the battle if you show up that way. So don't rush them along. So if you want to make a decision, if you want them to make a decision, you're going to have to give them some time because they want to be thorough. They want to think things through. So to force them to make a decision on the spot, most of the time it won't work, except if it's in an area they've really grown in. So you must know, listen, they're 100% sure exactly what to do. And even then, you can sometimes sort of give them a moment just to make sense of it, just to analyze it quickly and go through. So with personal growth, you'll see personality, the time that they need becomes shorter and shorter and shorter because they become more sure, they gain more maybe knowledge, more ways to apply this, and then the time they need to overthink something or to think something through becomes shorter. So that's one thing to communicate. If you're a D personality and you want to communicate more effective with a C personality, that is what you do. Provide clear facts, present your ideas objectively, you don't rush in, and you need to be specific and precise. This is what I want done, and this is how I want it done. They like it immediately. They don't want to be left. Just sort it out, handle it. No, I don't want to handle it. Tell me what you want. Then I will do it exactly the way that you would like it done. So that's how you communicate. If you're a D personality, that's how you communicate in general with your C personality. Any question? Yes.
Yes. So this obviously becomes very much a two-way process because communication is very seldom one way. So
Yes.
it is a type communicating with another type, but that
Yes.
communication is going left, right, and right, left. To what extent here are we accommodating the person or people we are dealing with versus being ourselves? Because obviously there's a lot of compromise here. What I'm hearing is that if you are normally behaving in this way and you're communicating with a different personality group, you have to adapt that communication style. But you're going to end up with this mishmash of communicating with all sorts of different people, trying to adapt to communicate with each of them in a way that is probably going to become quite unfamiliar and possibly even uncomfortable to you.
Yes, definitely. So that's why I started with, it has to be who you are. If you are the type of person that wants to connect fast with people, this is a connection tool as well. So I use this to build rapport. So rapport is making a connection fast. So if I know all the type of personalities, with Paul and Marika, I'm never ever going to talk slow. I'm never ever going to come with stories. I'll always, as soon as I realize your personality, I'm going to be flexible because I've got a certain goal. It's because of who I am. Who am I? I want to make connections with people. Who am I? I want to make friends with certain people. All right. So because I have this goal in mind, because I want to win with people, because it's just in my nature, because I decided it, I'm going to learn what I need to learn to connect with every person. And yes, in a relationship, well, it is both ways. But for one specific person, we can't force another person to do this. You can't force your wife. So listen, from now on, you will look at my line, my little column, and you will treat me this way. Major conflict. Okay, but if she would like, if she wants to connect with you better, if she wants to, from her side, build the relationship, she's going to focus on your column. So when you come with a list and she wants to say something else, she's going to be direct. She's going to say, okay, I hear what you say. This point doesn't make sense. Instead of sort of shying away from, okay, it might cause conflict, just say no, because a D personality wants to be challenged. Their strategy, you can challenge their strategy. So, okay, I hear what you say. Let's say you want to save money. Okay, so now you listen, we're not eating out anymore. We used to eating out 3 times, 4 times a week. We can only, sorry, no more eating out, we're saving money. So instead of her saying, listen, this is a bad idea. What are you doing? I'm going to eat out scallop. She said, listen, I hear what you're saying. The fact that we need to save money, absolutely with you. But I think we can eat out twice a week, but I'll give up something else. So now she wants to communicate. So she comes direct and she comes with another idea. But only if the partner, only if the person in your life or the other person is their focus to have a good relationship. Otherwise, it's the other person's responsibility to take that responsibility and say, listen, from my side, I'm going to do everything I can because it's important to me. If you want to come along, great, come along. Here's your information. Here's your block that you can focus on to connect with me better. So it is a tricky thing. And let me tell you, in a group or when dealing with a lot of people, when you have this information, it comes naturally. It just comes. So it's not a being, okay, I don't know who I am. I'm sort of what are those for clear? What is that?
A chameleon.
A chameleon on a smarty box. Not a chameleon, you know. You're just flexible. You have a big toolbox full of skills that you apply because you have a certain goal in mind when you communicate with people.
So it's not that you have to change your personality, like you said. It's about you have a goal to have a better relationship with someone. So I just want to illustrate an example quickly. So Shaun, you are also a C, right?
Yes.
So if you're watching the video, you will see the background is your bookcase. Now you will see your books go from the largest to the smallest. There's not one that stands out. So there's a specific structure because a C is particular. There's one thing's in a certain way. So I'm a D. So for me, like my bookcase does not look like that. I don't care. I would rather put type of books together, whether it's small or large, it doesn't matter. So my bookcase looks very confusing, but I understand. So if you're in a relationship, for example, it will frustrate you if you borrow a book and I put the tall one there on the side. So knowing that, and it will frustrate you to avoid conflict or frustration, you put it exactly in that way because to me it doesn't really matter.
Yes. So well, but even when you grow a little bit, that frustration goes away. I just fix it. So for me, instead of trying to fix someone else, if they put the book back, or I will say, listen, don't put the book back in the shelf. Just leave it on the desk. Don't worry about it. I'll put it where I want it. And also with cleaning, I mean, I come with I actually, okay, take the books off, okay, clean the shelf, okay, then, oh, don't worry, I'll put it back. So half of the cleaning in my house I do self, because we'll do everything sort of together. Okay, let's do it this way, let's do it that way. But there's at least a lot of frustration that's not there anymore because I don't make an issue out of it. I just do it myself then.
Are you available on Thursdays?
Sorry?
Are you available on Thursdays? You say you like cleaning.
My own place.
Oh, okay.
Especially the study. Especially here. Most of the cleaning I do myself.
Can I ask a question, please, Shaun?
Yes.
Marika, do you, when you take a coffee bottle out the cupboard, and do you close it properly and put it back?
I don't always put it back, but I close the cupboard, yes.
No, do you close the bottle top properly?
Oh. Depends, because it depends on the one sugar holder, the spoon is in the way. So if it doesn't close properly, I leave it.
Okay, no, it's interesting because it's behaviors like that that can irritate a partner that's not like that. You know, like putting the toothpaste top back on properly.
But this
Also,
is where we need to be very careful about generalizing, because on paper, Marika and I are both D. But
Yes.
it would drive me mad if I opened my pantry or came into my kitchen and had a look at tins with lids off and spoons in the wrong place. So for me, and I think we touched on this last week when we started this season, is you might be strong in a certain quadrant, but you have
Yes.
elements of each quadrant within you. So,
Yes.
Yeah.
so for Marika, I almost got a sense then of her being so task oriented and so focused and busy that it's almost a case of just shut the pantry door and forget about it, because I've got other things to do right now, and I'll get back to cleaning out the pantry or take the spoon out the jar or put the lid on, where I couldn't do that. If I'm sitting here now on this Zoom session, around me has to be tidy. I made a pot of tea before I had this session, or started this session, and the tea bags went in the compost, and the kettle was refilled and put back where it belonged, and the spoon that I used to stir the tea went into the dishwasher. So I think we've got to be careful about thinking, and this doesn't just apply to Group D. This applies to any. We've got to be careful, and Shaun will jump in here, I'm sure,
Yes.
about thinking that, right, this is the definitive list. It isn't the definitive list.
No, it's not. And it's very important to know that these are guidelines. It's not that every person, every D personality is rude, or every S personality you walk over there. It is, again, your whole life, your upbringing, your values is really come into play here. So it's not a sort of a set, okay, this person will always be this way and they can never change. And I mean, that's the whole purpose of this course, so that when there's fine little things that you want to grow in, that you can. But know that naturally, let's say being neat comes natural to certain personalities, other want it. So they can easily be neat just as your C personality, but it doesn't come as natural. And I think that's more the point of our discussion. Certain things come natural to certain people, like making friends, being friendly, just inviting and talkative. Your D and your I personalities, it comes natural to them. It does not come natural to a C personality. Okay, C personality, they will hardly ever see a stand-up comedian. They can't tell jokes, they're serious, because it does not come natural, but it can absolutely be learned. Okay, there's no restriction. It's just certain things come natural. Okay, how do you convince certain or different personalities types? So if you're a D personality and you dealing with a C personality, again, going to Marika and Paul, how do you convince them? So how do you convince a D personality first? You answer the what question. What are the benefits? Just tell me, what's the benefit? You want to change this? Tell me why. Tell me the benefit. And then if it's a benefit, great. So focus on the results first and move to, if they want, you can move away. So this needs to be done. You want to motivate them. Listen, no one else can do this. I need you to do this. This is what I want done. Go for it. And you can leave your D. Then you have to leave them. If they want to know anything else, they'll ask you. but you can leave them. They'll figure it out on their own. They'll find a way. And just answer their question, what are the benefits? So that's how you motivate your D personality. Your C personality, so you guys are D, you want to now motivate your partner to do something. So there you have to answer the how question. And this goes for in a workforce, at home, with your kids, with everyone. Answer the how question. How do you want it done? We want this and this. This is a big task. This is something major we want done. But don't worry, I'll tell you step by step. I'll take you through it. Don't worry, I'll be with you every step of the way. You can anytime, you can come and ask a question. So for them, it's important quality. So you can sort of, your honey spoon needs to be about the jam that you, with the jam, the whole tin, you can use the whole tin of jam, you know, to put some jam around the mouth. It is important they want to do something right. Listen, we want quality on this. We need to do this right. Please, if someone else is going to do this, it won't be right. The reason I'm asking you is you're the quality person. And I know, I don't have to worry about it. There will be quality. I know it will be done right. Okay, so that's how you motivate them, with a tin of jam. And quality, and your focus being on must be done right, on quality. You show them step by step how they must do it. And after you've shown them, then you can leave them. But they need clear directions. They need a clear environment. So that's why I say you come with a plan. You come with an action plan, step by step. And they are motivated by that. And you answer the question, how do you want it done? Or how do I want it done? And we motivate them. They feel much safer. They feel energized when they know exactly what they need to do. Otherwise, they're going to sit around and hours and hours and days trying to figure something out. But if you have the answer, just give it. I love it.
And how will we communicate or convince the I's and the S's?
So your S personality, there you answer the why for an S. So if you're any personality you want to connect with, or you want to communicate or convince them, you answer the why question. Why do you want to change things? They don't like change. They want everything to stay the same. If it's working, leave it. No, I don't want to move. Why? Why do you want to move? Why do you want to move this couch? Why? It's working. Why do you want to paint the house? It looks fine. Okay, so you answer your why question, and for the I personality, you answer the who question. Okay, who else has done it? They like name dropping. So who else has done this? Who's going to be there? So with your I personality, you convince them through high emotion. You have to be on a high, friendly, very enthusiastic, and tell them about important people who's done it. And with your S personality, just be warm and friendly, and show them the advantage and how it will benefit everyone and benefit the situation, and take some time with them. You need a lot of time with them. Okay, so that's how you convince those. Your motivation, to convince them, not to motivate them. That was the convince. If you want to convince them to do something, that is how you approach them. The motivation, it's a bit different. So if you're a D person, or let's start, how do you convince a D personality? So sorry, just the previous one was the convincing, now it's the motivation. Okay, so give them the what needs to be done and let them figure it out on their own. They are goals and quantity. This is what needs to be done. We need to do it in this time. Go for it. Thanks. Your I personality, just go with recognition. You need to praise them and boost them all the time. So you motivate them by, that was a good idea. This was good. That was good. High energy again, and acknowledge their efforts in front of other people. So you want to keep them motivated, just take people with you when you say something good. Don't do it in seclusion, because they'll bring it, but don't worry, they'll bring it up in front of other people. Yes, you guys just now, but I could just say that again. Just say that again in front of Paul. I just want Paul to hear what you said. Please just repeat what you told me in private. And then they just want you to tell in front of other people. So you keep them motivated by really just in front of other people, acknowledging them and allow them to have fun. They want to have fun. So don't spoil the fun for them. If it's in a serious environment, they're always the ones that will make a joke or make a little fun. So we can't just be serious the whole day. Come on, man. Yeah, get with the program, like Paul said. Come on, let's have fun. You're motivating your S personality is just make sure that they know that they have value for the team. They are the ones that keeping everyone together. You're the one that's gonna keep everyone calm, and that's why we need you. You need to come with us. No one can calm John down like you can. No one can just bring a relaxed feeling. Everyone just feels so comfortable around you. You need to come with us, or you need to be part of the team, or whatever it might be. And that's also how you make someone, your S personality, feel warm and feel welcome or feel wanted. If they wonder, in an argument or whatever in your relationship, tell them how much you value the fact that they're always the same. They're always warm. They're always welcoming. They keep the peace. Sometimes my head, I'm just explosive, but you bring me down to earth. You calm me down. You're my sender, and I love it. Okay, then they feel good. Because then they want to have peace. And your C personality, then their goals of quality. Okay, so you motivate them by quality. How to do this in the best way is important. And to do things right again. So the C is sort of always something to do with quality and being right, doing it the right way. And you'll always hear them. No, we need to do it right. No, we're not going to take shortcuts. We're doing this right, or we're leaving it. Then they get sort of, in a way, they sort of looking for conflict. Either we do it right or we leave it. It's your choice. Or you allow me to do it right, or we don't do it at all. Okay. So they are always focused on going there. But luckily, in other parts of the relationship, they also want to do it right. So that's a good thing that you can use in relationships. Okay, any questions there?
No, it makes 100% sense. Thank you, Shaun.
So it's all about intention.
Yeah, if your intention is to have a good relationship, then it's about intention. If your intention is, listen, I want to make this work. And it is very important, because when we go to the beginning of a relationships, opposites attract. For a C personality like mine, my weaknesses is 100% an I personality strengths. So I fall in love with a spontaneous, outgoing person, impulsive. In the beginning, I find it attractive. But 2 years after marriage, crashes. Because we're not learning to be flexible. And my intentions are different. I'm not noticing. So what I fall in love with, if I do not know the weaknesses and strengths and what comes natural to an I personality, it's going to frustrate and irritate me to a point, listen, this doesn't work anymore. Because in the beginning, it was fun. We don't live together. So I'm so focused on work, and I'm writing another course, and I'm recording and everything. Now here comes a spontaneous person and say, listen, let's go out and have fun. You know what? Yes, let's do it. I love it. Okay, but now we live together. Now she wants to have fun all the time. And I want to write another course. And now it's not fun anymore. So if I know it comes natural to her, I said, okay, now I need to know. Okay, in the week, I'm going to put in extra time. The weekend, you arrange whatever it is you want to arrange. And that's a problem if we don't know. But if I know, listen, this space cadet, this is how she is, and this is the reason why she's this way. This is the reason why I fell in love with her. So now I can maintain it because my intention is different. And I'm not going to try to change her. So after about 2 years of marriage, the opposites that attracted becomes the reason that you divorce. if you do not know this type of information.
Right.
Okay, so now Marika.
I think we need to wrap up, Shaun.
Okay, so last one, differ. How do you differ from, and then we can talk a bit. So how do you differ from each different personality? So if you're D, how do you differ with them? You agree with their goal and you can challenge their strategy, like I said just now. So most people say you don't differ from a D because you're just going to get trouble. And that in a relationship is the worst thing that you can say. You have to disagree with them. So you can ask the question, why do you think it's the best way? And they will explain to you. So not just leave it or avoid it. Ask them, why do you think it's the best way? For your I personality, just allow time to pass. They'll come up with another idea. Of course, the high energy, they always have new ideas. Just leave them 5 minutes. They'll come back on their own and tell you, oh, that wasn't such a good idea. I think I've got a new idea. This is the new plan. So just give some time to pass. Don't always, no, it won't work. No, we don't have money. No, this, no, that. No, that's a stupid idea. Just leave them. They'll realize that on their own most of the time, 90% of the time. Your S personality, how do you differ from them? Just make sure that they know the difference in opinion. It doesn't mean that the relationship is over. We have to talk about this. I love you, but we need to talk about this one thing. But we're still fine. We just need to discuss this. Okay. And with your C personality, focus on the facts. If you want to differ from them, come with a list. This is a fact. The fact 1, fact 2, fact 3. This is not no emotion. Listen, this is a fact. It won't work. Okay. So get your facts together. They'll also talk like that. Listen, if you want to argue with me, get your facts straight. Don't come and start an argument and you don't know what you're talking about. Stop it. Go away. Get your facts and come back. Okay. So that in general, in short, is how you differ from each personality.
Thank you so much, Shaun. This is very valuable. And like you said, if you don't know, then you can't improve and you will keep stepping into the same traps over and over again. So it's very important to be aware of it. Paul?
What I'm keen to touch on at some point, and I don't think it'll be today for the sake of time, is I don't know if it's just me or my personality type. I'm someone who finds it quite difficult to remember things generally. And you obviously can't navigate life with a little book that says, right, I'm going into a meeting now at 10 o'clock and the person I'm meeting is a type I and there are 2 type S's and this is how I need to be. At least I can't function like that. Maybe there are some people who could. I think it would be helpful to learn the skills in terms of being able to identify these people quickly and how we can best match their personality types without having to refer to a textbook. And I use the phrase textbook loosely because obviously you're not reading out of a textbook. You're just speaking from knowledge. Because I think unless this is something that we do all the time, that we're practicing all the time, day in, day out with every single relationship, which I find would be quite difficult. I think this can be quite tough, if I'm honest. This to me doesn't sound easy. I don't know how you feel, Mary and Marika, whether I'm understanding it, but I'm just thinking in everyday application, this for me would be quite challenging. How do you feel, ladies?
I think it depends on, because myself, I work as a coach daily, so I'm naturally analyzing people automatically. So I find it maybe slightly easier because it's what I do on a daily basis, which will be different for someone else that is completely in a different industry. It doesn't necessarily come naturally. So I agree, Paul. I think some tools how to quickly spot different personality types and how to quickly adapt. I think that will be valuable.
Yeah. Yeah, we can maybe talk about sort of some tips next time. But firstly, it's to make it easier, you focus on the one person. Let's say you start with your partner. A lot of the information is in columns next to one another. So you can see yours, you can see theirs. You start with theirs. And as time goes on, you sort of broaden your knowledge. But it is difficult. It's not easy. Definitely.
And don't get me wrong. I certainly think that it's worth going to the trouble. I can see the benefits. So I'm not for a second suggesting that, this is wasted and overrated and don't bother with it. But just for me personally, I was never any good at history at school. And I think that says a lot about my ability to remember dates and names. And maybe it is a trait of the D personality. You know, I'll remember important stuff like breathe and drink water now and then. But when it comes to a lot of stuff that I deem trivial, I just find it literally goes in one ear and out the other. So I guess Mareka's right in saying that if this is something you do for a living, you know, if you're an engineer and you need to know that the structural integrity of cement needs to be a ratio of 3:1 to cement, sand, water, then that's something that you will remember because it's what you do. Where this is not what I do in essence, I'm not a life coach, but I think we all have relationships with other people. Regardless of what we do for a living, we are in permanent relationship with others. So this is definitely a skill to learn, but I would hate to be bogged down with all the facts in trying to remember, oh goodness, is this somebody who I need to get to the point with quickly? Or is this somebody who I need to fluff up a little bit first? Is there lots of jam, no jam? Yeah, it's something that for me, I think would take some time to get to know how to work with.
I think it's just new. With any type of study, it's when we do something for the first time or hear something for the first time, we tend to say it's hard. But the fact is, it's only new. But it doesn't, if I say difficult, okay, it's going to take you maybe a few days to figure the whole thing out. And you won't need to remember specific detail. There'll be broad spectrum, you know, certain major things, and it will just, okay, I know what to do. So it's not like I'm remembering absolutely everything. Even though I do, it's my personality, and I'm busy with this all the time. But it's not like, okay, now little columns are coming up and I need to remember. There are certain universal things that just come naturally, and you'll get that in a few days. It won't take so long. It's not that difficult.
So,
Mary, I think you wanted to speak.
Yes, so with me, I also learned over the years how to see people and listen to them, because there's a lot of other things that you need to use is your listening ability and that connection that Shaun talks about. That's the intention, is to connect. So my past experiences when selling property, I had to learn each person that's buying and selling, because they're all in a different space. So I learned how to listen, and then I spoke about what their priority is. So when people like to talk about themselves, so when you start building rapport, you get into their corner and you start talking about what they like and then you get to know them. You listen to the way they speak, and you sort of, it becomes like a sixth sense. You develop it. That's how I've managed to get, you know, to where I am, to understanding people and myself.
Mary, you're not allowed to say too much. You're an I personality. It comes natural. Your people skills. I personality is born with people skills.
True. That's true.
Yeah, they just feels like they'll meet you for the first time and they'll talk to you like they've known you for 10 years, that you guys been best friends, that you're reconnecting. They'll talk to you like, oh, we're reconnected. We've been friends for 20 years. I haven't seen you for 1 year. That's the way that the I personality will talk to you.
Right. But thank you, Shaun. This was, again, a very valuable session. And to those watching and listening, if you didn't do the assessment yet, the link is in the description. So I would suggest, if you can, let your partner also do that, or friends, or whoever you have in your life, to see and understand them better if you want to really improve your relationships. And also, this is only a small portion of Shaun's personal mastery course. So if you want to enroll in that course and work with Shaun directly, then you can also click on that link. So Shaun, what can we expect for our next session in a week from now?
Yeah, that's a hard question. I normally ask you guys what you want to talk about. I'll send some things that we can, maybe that's really interesting, that can help. We're going to move on from relationships to something else. Like I said, there's so many things in this course, so we can maybe in a few days we can maybe post as well another topic
Yes.
say, listen, we'll go into this topic. So I'll hear from you guys.
Awesome.
What do you think will be really, really interesting?
Good. Looking forward to it.
And I think we'll be guided by you as well, because we're not doing this just for ourselves, the four of us. We're doing this to benefit you. So whether you're just listening to the audio here or whether you are watching this on Facebook, please comment. If you're not on Facebook, because we seem to assume that everyone is, but not everyone is. So if you prefer to send an email through, Marika, I'm sure the best thing would probably be to email you as the coordinator of this podcast and this project. Your email address, let's give that out.
All right, we can do an email. I think best will be to comment in the comment section either on the YouTube, Spotify, or Facebook. However, my email address is info@coachesnetworksa.co.za. But comment on this video or on the Spotify link that you're listening to, and you want to specifically touch on something that you've heard, then you can please get in touch there as well.
Perfect. And Shaun, thank you for being so available. I know this is what you do for a living, so we're really taking time out of you and out of your day, business-wise, and we appreciate you sharing all of this valuable knowledge with us. So thank you so much for being a lovely contributor to the Coaching Hour. We do appreciate it.
Only a pleasure. Only a pleasure.
And that's where we leave you for this week's edition. We look forward to your company next week. Mary, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And Marika, thanks as always. And do join us for the next edition of the Coaching Hour. I'm Paul Rotherham. Cheers for now.